Why is it that most of the people who are against abortion are people you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place, huh?
Where are you, you little shitbag? Can't escape me. An ocelot never lets their prey escape. Hi everybody. I know you've missed me, and I'm sorry. I won't bore you with the reasons why because they're largely real life shit mixed with indecision on good content. I have a few things I can make fun of now thanks to some of you beautiful watchers. I appreciate everybody who sends me content. I'm surprised by how much goes outside my radar. But this is an amalgamation of thoughts I've always had about this subject I never got to express before because I haven't had a good enough reason to. Plus, I'm not known for political shit. I'm known for making fun of nerds who are perpetually angry about having to share their toys with everybody else. This is outside of my usual wheelhouse, but variety is good, and I think people just like my style and personality. I could actually talk about anything and people will listen. I hope so, anyway. The news has been on fire because the talk of the town is that the Supreme Court might overturn Roe v. Wade. Something about a memo that contained that idea, but it hasn't actually been done yet. As far as I understand, if the court has ruled in someone's favor, it has the potential to overturn the previous ruling of Roe v. Wade. Put very simply, in case you're not up to speed, Roe v. Wade is the only federal decision that protects a woman's right to choose an abortion. It was the only thing standing in the way of states that want to prosecute women who have abortions. So without this, it will mean that you are entirely at the mercy of whatever state you live in. If you can't see the obvious problems with this, I don't know what to tell you. Let's take a short gander at how well the different states are handling this, specifically our much-loved red states who are salivating at any opportunity to criminalize abortion. In Texas, where Roe v. Wade took place to begin with, the law labeled SB 8 allows private citizens to sue anybody who they suspect in aiding and abetting an abortion. I wish I could make this shit up. Hey, anyone remember that one book conservatives love to pretend they read? Like 1984 or some shit like that? Remember the part of that book that described citizens ratting other people out to Big Brother for their own benefit? This law is literally that in real life. Kinda insane. It's also not even very clear since aid and abet isn't legally defined, so it's not only vague as fuck, it's also inspired by a dystopian nightmare world. I saw a Fox News interview the other day. Yeah, I was on the break room TV, don't judge me. It had an interview with the governor of Oklahoma, and he was defending his across-the-board banning of abortion by, of course, talking about the Bible and how life is sacred and other emotionally led arguments. That's most of the shit. Oklahoma joins states like Arizona, Alabama, Michigan, and Mississippi in that if Roe v. Wade gets overturned, abortion will be flat out banned, or restricted so much it might as well be banned. In Georgia, you can face up to 10 years in prison for traveling outside the state for an abortion. You might remember this as the law that local class clown Ben Shapiro defended very badly on the BBC. Well, when I say you can be arrested, I say you could possibly be arrested. Why do I say possibly? Well, get this. The law doesn't specifically say whether or not the woman will be prosecuted. Are you starting to notice a pattern here? I am. Many of these anti-abortion laws are often unspecific and poorly defined, especially since the point at which the fetus becomes a legally protected human is not well defined at all. Alabama, for instance, bans abortion at around 10 weeks, but the only one that any red state has consistency on is the 6-week period. This is the period where a fetus develops a heartbeat. And since it's a heartbeat, that means it's a person. Makes perfect sense until you realize human beings are more than a heartbeat. Why should it be a heartbeat and not, say, brain activity, for example? Isn't that the one thing that makes humans super distinct from other animals? But that was my first mistake in this discussion. Assuming there was logic in this way of thinking. So now that I've got all the boring context bullshit out of the way, it's time to piss everybody off with my opinion. I'm sorry to all my subscribers, the comment section is gonna look like a fucking toxic waste dump, but you know how these kind of political discussions go. Shit happens, literally. It's the internet. People were flinging shit all the fucking time, so why not just embrace it? I hate how people treat this subject like there's so much nuance, and it's so complex and hard, and throwing around medical terms interchangeably like zygote, embryo, fetus, and mixing that all with emotionally loaded language like sanctity of life. Look, I'm just gonna throw all that shit in the bin. All of this shit is just smokescreen, just to cover up the essential issue. The issue is this: should women have the right to an abortion? There is one, and only one correct answer to this question. Yes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, if you answered no to that question, you probably think you have very good reasons for that position. Sorry to inform you, but they are nowhere near as good as you think they are. What you'd most likely want to do is say something like, well, actually, I'm not against the freedom to an abortion. I'm actually for the right of the unborn. Because you see, they didn't get the right to choose to be alive. Okay. Only one problem. Yes, you are. You are against the freedom of an abortion. Don't pretend like you aren't. And also, don't pretend like just because you want them banned after 6 weeks, that makes you some kind of moderate. Why the half-measured bull crap? We all know you just want to ban it entirely. Is it because you're aware that's not a socially acceptable position, so you just have to think you can compromise a little bit and magically that'll make people think of you better? Either shit or get off the pot. No matter how you twist it, nobody will be able to look past the reality that you're trying to take away their right to choose, their right to make a decision in the land of the supposedly free. Let's not mention that you're taking the rights of a living person away from something that has no brain activity yet. In what world is that fair? I have a feeling if you were on the shit end of that deal, you'd change your opinion right quick. This isn't a 1-month free trial for Disney+. This is a 9-month commitment. Anything can happen in 9 months. And just to reiterate one more time, even if you pass a stupid-ass law like this, people are literally just going to go to another state to avoid it. You're solving nothing. Speaking of solving nothing, that's the pro-life people's biggest stumbling block here. There are only about 23 states that will possibly heavily restrict abortion if Roe v. Wade fails. That's just under half the country. I've read reports about women who are flooding to other state abortion doctors because they live in a state where abortion is heavily regulated. This will not get better. It will only get worse. Alright, even if it was banned across all 50 states, 100% eliminated overnight, what's going to happen? I'll tell you what'll happen. The black market will get some new clients. And you know this, conservatives. I damn well know that you know this. You want to know how I know? It's 'cause you literally use the exact same argument against banning guns. Well, now listen here, sonny boy. If you damn near ban every gun in sight, you're gonna make it so that only criminals have guns. Mark my words, boy, I'll tell you what. But for some reason, when it comes to abortion, you're like, nah, that won't happen. Pfft, that won't happen. Where's the logic? Where's the logic there exactly? Have you people learned anything from prohibition? Outright banning things will never make it go away. You'll only make average people criminals. But then again, in order for them to know that, it would require the GOP to actually pick up a book besides the Bible. Ah, the Bible, of course. The Bible is another popular source of their moral justification. Sorry, their reasoning. It goes as such. It was God who created the world, and God values the sanctity of life. We cannot defy God's plan by killing the unborn, sonny boy, let me tell you what. Now, I could be petty and just point out, well, why are humans allowed to defy God if this is God's plan? But there's just a bunch of bullshit. God values life, does he? You mean the same Christian God who has committed genocide at several different points in time? A God who has explicitly stated that a son who has defied his mother and father will be stoned to death by his entire village? Oh yeah, that same God who quite literally committed abortion and told others how to create an elixir that will kill a baby inside the womb? That same God? I have a feeling you didn't read that book too closely. Just a hunch. Not to get all religious on you, because again, that's also just a distraction. This is all to justify their personal dislike of the activity. Deny that all you want. You're just trying to use a higher power to justify your morals and have them forced on everyone else. You find abortion to be icky and nasty, and it makes you feel bad knowing that babies die before they're born. Look, I get it. Look, alright, I get it. Nobody thinks abortion is a great thing. No woman looks forward to an abortion. It's not a decision anybody wants to make. It's called pro-choice, not pro-abortion, for a reason. Abortion shouldn't be a common occurrence, but it should still stay on the table. How do we strike this delicate balance where abortion is only a last resort and nothing more? The answer is nowhere near as difficult as you might think. Step 1. Get rid of abstinence-only education. Simply because it doesn't work. It hasn't worked, and it never will work. Teenagers fuck. Look, teenagers fuck. They not only fuck, they want to fuck. A lot. The only people who want to think otherwise are people who want to deny reality. Nobody waited till marriage. Not even in the good old days, the Leave It to Beaver-esque days where life was just simpler. Knowledge is power. Education overhauls would solve a lot of the issues because teens won't be told the solution is just a, well, don't fuck, period. There you go. No. The proper answer is, if you're going to, here's everything you should know so you can make an informed decision. But why is it that we need a permission slip in order to even discuss this stuff? Oh, that's right. It's conservative, moral authoritarian helicopter moms who refuse to have their little Jimmy learn about something that would be useful for the rest of his life. Ah, yes, because shielding your child from the truth has definitely worked before, right? Step 2. In conjunction with Step 1, easily available contraceptives. Not necessarily given at school because that would send the wrong impression, but the point still stands. Mostly just stop teaching people that defying nature is the only solution. It doesn't work. It's what we've already been doing, and it's not working. When you defy nature, nature fights back. Step 3, it's actually not related to the last 2 steps, but good life advice in general. Stop trying to legislate things you don't like out of existence. It doesn't make it not exist. You're objectively making the problem worse. Instead of that inevitable abortion taking place in the safety of a doctor's office, it will take place in some cockroach-infested hotel room by guys who read something on WikiHow one time and are pretty sure they know what to do. At this point, I've already laid out my opinion. I'm just rubbing salt in the wound at this point, but doesn't anybody else find it funny that the same people who endlessly preach about the importance of freedom and how bad Mr. Big Bad vaccine-loving government is trying to control the people, only to then request that same Big Daddy government ban the icky thing that they don't personally agree with? And here I thought the liberals were supposed to be the overly emotional ones. Here's some advice to everybody in the GOP. Stop quoting 1984 unless you've actually read it for the love of sweet Buddha. Unless you're afraid you might be looking in the mirror when you're reading it. Why are these people even called pro-life? What kind of group calls themselves pro-life and is against strong social safety nets? I guess, I don't know, I think pro-life should be like pro-healthcare reform and anti-war. You know, the 2 issues that the GOP has fought fiercely against for the past couple decades. But I guess nothing makes sense anymore in this world. I'm Karina McDaniels. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Aha! Eureka! That's my signal to strike. Do all the typical YouTube stuff, and I will see you all next time. Love you. Wouldn't be here without you. Bye.
If you're not the boss, then die.